in the second word on the cross, which is from Luke. And he said, behold, I say unto you, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. Well, you could alter the punctuation mark and put the comma after today. But no, leave it just as it is. Behold, I say unto you, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. This is now resurrection. And when I am lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. For all things are in my own wonderful human imagination. And I am all imagination. So when I am lifted up, I draw all. At the very moment, I draw them all with me. But they individually must have the experience that I have had. But they are already redeemed because I took them up with me. Because all things exist in the human imagination. And anyone who is resurrected, well, he can't be resurrected and leave behind him any part of himself. So the whole vast world is raised up with him. I am telling you from experience, the heavenly chorus sing when this thing took place. They sing the fall, actual fall, into division, and the resurrection into unity. They sing it out. And then the regeneration through resurrection from the dead. They actually sing it out. And the words, it is finished, I heard it, but I didn't sing it. The heavenly chorus sang it. When I walked by and everyone was made perfect as I was perfect. And then at the very end, the chorus sang out, it is finished. That was the sixth word on the cross. And the last one is when this garment comes off. And that is the 31st Psalm, the 5th verse. Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Complete the verse. Thou hast redeemed me, O Lord, faithful God. That was the promise at the beginning. I would fall into division and become fragmented, dwelling in all, that not a thing in this world could be apart from me. Because how could I be apart from something that I'm going to influence? Because all things by a law divine in one another's being mingled. If I'm not penetrating you now, I couldn't see you. You couldn't hear me if I did not penetrate you and you penetrate me. So all things by a law divine in one another's being mingled. So when I am lifted up, I take with me my entire universe, my whole vast world, knowing that every one that is now shadowed in that world will have a repetition of the same experiences. For one fell into division and then resurrected into unity, bringing all back together into the one. So in her case, I can't tell you how thankful I am that she shared it with me, so that every so-called act in the outer world that seems so, well, a cause in itself, may I tell you, every natural effect has a spiritual, imaginal cause, and not a natural. A natural cause only seems, it's a delusion of what? The fading memory. Man can't quite remember. Pardon me. Luckily, she remembered when Ray said we could use and need a new roof. But it would cost $1,000, and so that's put into the future. In her mind's eye, she revised it instantly at that moment. The roof and the shoes. When she worked on her machine, she revised it. It was adequate, but she said, I have a new machine, sewing machine. And putting the heavy tape recorder away, she wanted a new one that was light of weight and she revised it, and she got in her mind's eye a lightweight new tape recorder. So I tell you, this story is the greatest story ever told. There's no story like it. But Christianity needs forever and forever to be saved from secular history. It is not secular history. It's the history of your own wonderful human imagination. God and your own imagination are one. They're one. You are an immortal being. You cannot die. Because you're all imagination. And when you actually know it from experience, then you can wipe your tears. Nothing can pass away. You may not see them with a mortal eye, touch them with a mortal hand, but they are in a world just as real as this. Just as real. Continuing the journey until they reach that moment in time when they are resurrected. And then their scattered body begins to be collected, and they're gathered together into one. So one must be all, and comprehend within himself all things, both great and small. And you are that one that actually fell. And then, in falling, you became fragmented. You became divided into the unnumbered parts, and each seems to be independent of you as you look out on it. You're only looking out on yourself pushed out. And your whole vast world must make real your unknowing imaginal acts, or your knowing imaginal acts. I ask you to trust this teaching. Believe in your imaginal acts. You may not see it tonight or tomorrow, but believe in it. Actually assume the most glorious thing in the world for yourself or any aspect of yourself. Trust it. And that imaginal act, if it takes 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000 of your projected selves, will use them to make that thing become real in your world.